One, two, one, two. Peace, y'all. Welcome to Campaign Show. Sunday Campaign Show. Sunday School. Um, Divine Punishment. The title for today, Sunday School Campaign Show. Divine Punishment is the only thing that will make us act right. Only thing that's going to make us act right at this point is divine punishment, not regular punishment. It had to be divine punishment. Um, because we just too set in our ways, we too rebellious, we too far gone, and you know, we destroying ourselves. But the God don't want us destroyed. He didn't come to destroy us. He came to save us from destruction. But we insisting on rejecting and rebelling against him is destroying us, and we putting burdens on our children and our loved ones and people that are trying to be right and do right. So that's why we living in the end of grace and in the beginning of curses and punishments and chastisements of the divine sort from the God. Chastisements of God, not chastisements of Satan's and devils. We've been living under that. That ain't nothing new. We're familiar with the curses of Satan. We've been under the hells of in North America for the last 470 years. This is different. This is totally different. The curses and the hells and the punishments and the chastisements of Satan is nothing in comparison with the chastisement and the punishments of the righteous Most High God. And that's where we at now. And unfortunately for us, the masses of us, these God divine punishments and curses and chastisements are in the house now. And that's the only thing that will make us act right if we gonna act right. Some of us ain't gonna act right, and we gonna be destroyed. But this is what this is about. Today's episode, Campaign Show Live, Sunday School Edition, is divine punishment. Divine punishment. We have arrived. Salute to my wrench mobs, God Squad mods. Salute Elmatic, Ahmad Jabril. Salute Big George Allen. Walaikum salam. You say I've been playing the music on your music on the playlist that I put together. Salute. Most of the music I never heard before. My bean pie was fire. Yeah, that's 2020 God Vision from that NOI mixtape album that I put out in 2020. Yup. Oh yeah, also, y'all still can get that. Palm Sunday. Today is Palm Sunday. We're gonna get into what that's about according to tradition. And I'm running a sale that's still going on ionic colloidal silver because we're using this holy water to get rid of these demons and parasites, these vampires, these blood suckers of the poor, or these soul suckers of the righteous, in the form of what I've been talking about, bacteria, parasites, stuff like that. So having a $17 sale, that number is also significant. 17, 1 in the 7, or 107. So take advantage of that, stock up while you can. And let's get into this subject for today. And this is what is half of it. We're not gonna get into the punishment part yet. We're gonna get into the Palm Sunday part, which is today, Palm Sunday. So I asked the question, why is it called Palm Sunday? Why is today called Palm Sunday? You got Easter Sunday, we got Passover yesterday, Palm Sunday, Good Friday, and then Easter Sunday. Well, according to AI overview, Palm Sunday is called Palm Sunday because it commemorates Jesus's entry into Jerusalem. In the Bible said that Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, on an ass. All this is symbolic. Anytime you hear the word, hear animals mentioned and stuff like that, that's not talking about literal animals. It's talking about it's symbolic language. It's symbolism. It's metaphors for characteristics of people. So if Jesus rode into Jerusalem, Jerusalem means a city of the righteous or founded in peace. Jeru and Salem, Salem means peace, salam. Jerusalem, Jesus rode into Jerusalem on the backs of the unlearned, the donkey, you know what I'm saying, the ass, the stubborn, the unlearned, whatever characteristics of a donkey or ass. Might be slow, they're slow. They're not swift like a horse, like a wise horse. But, the Bible story talk about that it was a colt. It was a young little horse and an ass or a donkey tied together. And Jesus told one of his disciples or told somebody, loose them and bring them to me. And if somebody asks you what you're doing, say the master has need of these. So the master, big brother, savior of us, uses both the learned, the educated of us and the masses of illiterates or the dumb, slow ones, stubborn, dumb, slow ones, the jackasses of us. That's who he really, who really carries him. Is the hard-headed, stiff-necked, rebellious, dumb, slow jackasses or us that used to be on jackass time. So he's able to ride into Jerusalem or into the city of peace or make peace in the wasted cities or the peacemakers among gang members like Mr. Peace Treaty and all that kind of stuff. So Palm Sunday commemorates Jesus's entry into Jerusalem on a donkey, where crowds met him as he waved, where crowds met him and waved. The crowds waved palm branches. You ever seen them old Middle Eastern Bible stories or Moses stories or whatever? Palm branches symbolizing his triumph and the people's hope in him, the people's hope for him and hope in him. Says these palms were laid on the ground as he passed, and the crowd shouted, "Hosanna, Hosanna," meaning God saves. Hosanna. So that the story about Jesus. They was praising him one day, Hosanna, Hosanna. He's the greatest, and he's victorious. He's the king, and all that. And the very next day, they was talking about crucify him, and that's how fickle our people are. And that's why he was allegedly on the cross still praying for him, like, forgive them, Father. They don't know what the hell they doing. They don't know what they doing. They don't know who I am. They don't even know who they are. So it says elaboration right here. Biblical account, according to the biblical account of Palm Sunday, it describes a large crowd welcoming Jesus into Jerusalem, shouting, Hosanna, and waving palm branches, which they also spread on the ground in front of him. The symbolism, the palm branches held a symbolic meaning. In the Bible, palm branches are often associated with victory and triumph. The palm tree, in the Bible and the Quran, especially in the Quran, palm tree is a blessed tree whose branch, the trunk is super high, and the fruit of the palm tree is sweet and full of nutrients. Is one of the most divine and holy and healthy nutrient packed fruits in nature. Is the date palm, the dates. And in the Middle East, the palm trees, represent oasis, shade, and it also represents water. So if like in California or in desert places, if you ever see palm trees, it's letting you know it's water there or some kind of oasis there. That's a refreshment. So palm branches are a symbol of victory and triumph in this instance. And the crowd's actions were seen as a declaration of Jesus's kingship. Christian tradition, it says Palm Sunday marks the beginning of Holy Week, a whole week full of days like this. Like I said, yesterday was Passover. Today is Palm Sunday. Then you got Good Friday, and then you got Easter Sunday. So a whole week of stuff like related to this. and is celebrated by Christians worldwide with special services, often including the blessing and distribution of palm branches, which represents victory and triumph and the kingship of Jesus. Local variations, while palm branches are traditional, some areas might use other branches like yew, silver fir, or spruce due to climate or availability. Modern use, the name Palm Sunday is a direct reference to the use of palm branches in the celebration, continue to connect the modern observance of the biblical narrative. So that's where we at right now. So that means what it means, you know. There's no such thing as coincidence, but I don't want us to get caught all up in symbolism. I like to unlock what the symbols mean. That's what we do over here. We don't get caught up in rituals and symbols and all of that. We get caught up in cracking open what they really mean, what they represent. People be so, ignorant and childish and set in their ways, trying to say that people, oh, y'all worship the sun, y'all worship the moon, y'all worship the stars, and that's why they don't never want to talk directly with no real FOI or what I'm saying, because then we clown them and prove that they was haters and liars and ignorant buffoons when it come to them false claims they be making about us. But we have the divine interpretation. We have the Most High interpretation, the supreme wisdom and revelation of God in person, and the revelation that God is a person. God is the human being, the human species, Allah, Yahweh, God, Jehovah, whatever you know him as, it's the human being. So, I wanted to open that up first because we're going to deal with good news and we're going to deal with warnings and curses and punishment news. As the title say, divine punishment is the only thing that's going to make us act right. We have clearly proved that at this point. So according to the Bible, according to the Quran, according to nature, according to your own history, your own household, your own upbringing, your own mental, physical condition, clearly punishment, chastisement is the only thing that's going to make us act right, only thing that's going to make us clean up. Most of us don't even clean up our diet until some doctor tell us you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? You don't stop doing this, you're going to die. That's a punishment. That's a punishment. I also wanted to get into the concept of curse. What's curse? What is a curse? What is the definition of chastise? What is the definition of evil? Because the punishment that we get now is from God. It's not from us. I mean, we are going to be allowed to feel the full consequences of our own choices, but that's not necessary. Grace is what we've been abusing. Our whole life we've been under grace, and we ain't realized that we've been abusing the grace, thinking that ain't nothing gonna happen to us because nothing ever have. If God must not have no problem with what I'm doing, he ain't did nothing to me this far. And that's the logic. That's the idiot, satanic, demon-possessed, parasitic logic that we use. God must not be mad because he ain't did nothing to me yet. You know what I'm saying? People used to say that to me. That's why I did the song called Holiday Madness. I've been eating pork all my life and I'm cool. You fool. Just because you ain't died yet don't mean you ain't mentally dead, don't mean that you ain't infested, don't mean that you ain't in a hell condition. But we just naturally like to be defensive and reactive and rebellious. We love rebellion. We don't love rebellion against the devil, though. We love rebellion against the God, against righteous discipline and righteous authority. That's what we want to rebel against. But so yeah, this divine punishment that's gonna make us right, or only thing that's gonna make us act right, is in the form of God allowing us to suffer the full consequences of what we chose, of our own actions. Not he's doing something new and special and different to us. No, he's finally going to just let us suffer the natural, just consequences of what we've been choosing to do. We ain't realized that daddy been protecting us. Daddy been withholding, the consequences of what we've been doing. And we thought that this is life. Oh, we just blessed. I'm just blessed and highly favored. I mean, you was. We are, but we was under grace. And we didn't realize how much God was shielding us from of the consequences of our own actions. We won't realize that until he stopped doing it, till he stopped protecting us, till he removed that grace, and we get the full effect of what we caused. Then we're gonna realize how we was really tripping. So the Quran say Allah will seize us. He's gonna seize us with distress, and affliction. Distress, affliction, and loss. Distress, of course, is mental. Distress is mental. Distress. I'm in distress. Damsel in distress. Right? It could be some physical stuff that's causing mental stress. And then he's going to seize us with physical health affliction. Physical health afflictions, meaning illnesses, ailments, disease, affliction. Distress, affliction, and loss. Loss. It could be loss of money, loss of life, loved ones, loss of relationship, loss of jobs, distress, affliction, loss. Loss of life. I said that already, meaning loved ones. All of this is punishments. Punishments. Divine punishments, not satanic punishments. We've been familiar with the devil's punishments all of our life since we've been here. If you've been black, all of us has been living under the punishments and the curses and the wicked, evil wiles of Satan. You can't even drink a drink of tap water. You can't even go outside without breathing in chemtrails. All of us is under the demonic, the satanic punishments of the devils. That's not what we're talking about. We born cursed by the devil. Curse is an intentional evil, intentional willing, intent to do evil. That's a curse. That's nothing. We already know these people is our devil. They're our devils. Of course they cursing us, but it's different once the God who been protecting us from that and been trying to wake us up to that. Once he get mad, when daddy start whooping you, that's different. That's different when the devil is whooping you or from when an op is whooping you. Because if you make the father that mad where he got to do you, then you really tripped. We really tripped. And that's where we at right now. So the punishment starts out with distress and affliction and loss. And then it turns up. It turns up. Like how your oven, you got the little temperature on your stove in your oven. It turns up hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And our own hard-headedness is the fuel of our own punishment. The fuel of the flames and the temperature of the flames is fueled by our own hard-headedness. So the more we get tough as things look like it's not going our way, or distress or an affliction or whatever, and instead of running to clean up and atone, we run to the thing that got us in trouble in the first place, it's going to get hotter and hotter and worse and worse. That's where we at right now. So many of us just, we don't want to do nothing but public immorality. We want to strip. We want to twerk. We want to push sex and scam. We want to push I got the bag, materialism. I'm better than you. You broke, ninja. You broke. I ain't gonna deal with you if you broke, or nigga, you ain't on my level because you broke. It's all worshiping money, worshiping the Satan's media, meaning fame, so-called status, and the Satan's fiat currency with his face on it, which is the root of which, the love of which is the root of most of our evils. So it takes fire. It takes a purging. It takes punishment, chastisement of a divine nature in the form of stress, distress, affliction, ailments, loss of life, loss of whatever we love above the God. Whatever we put above the God, whatever we spending most of our time and attention and desire, you know what I'm saying, effort, whatever we making a priority over the God and over doing what the God, made us to do, then he's going to use those very things to chastise and punish us with, to humiliate us with. You love fame? He's going to make us publicly humiliated. He's going to make you famous for being publicly humiliated. You're going to be famous for the extreme thing that you would never have wanted to be famous for. Do you love money? He's going to make us broke. You love sex? He's going to give you some STIs, something that is going to sit you right on your ass and you ain't going to be able to do none of that. Whatever you love your children, you love your mate, you love chasing D or chasing box above him, he'll turn your children against you, or he'll take them from you, meaning, take them back to him, meaning unalive. Anything today that we putting above the God, he gonna whoop us with it. He gonna whoop us with it. He is whooping us with it. I ain't gonna say he gonna whooping. He is. It's happening as we speak. I'm speaking to you and I'm speaking to you. So divine punishment, that's divine punishment. Certain things we know only God can do, unless you believe that Satan, devils is more powerful than God. You believe Satan's got supernatural powers. And you say the devil is busy. No, the devil ain't. You got to really, like, if you really knew reality, then you would know that, these Satans or devils, that's just a recessive 6,000-year-old race of people. They ain't got no magic powers. Certain things that you see happening to you, they can't cause that to happen. They don't got no supernatural powers. It's happening because of the God is doing that. The God is doing that, and you giving the credit to Satan. You trying to blame it on Satan. No, that's God doing that. And we don't realize it. Certain things, like, oh no, I don't give a fuck if the feds is listening to my phone, or the COINTELPRO is following me around, or whatever so-called technology they got. Certain things, the white man can't do this. The white man don't know how to do this. White man ain't reading my mind, right? White man can't do this to me. You're right. It's not the white man doing it. It's God doing it. And he's going to keep doing it until you bow down and change. You know what I'm saying? If my people, which is called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face, this is the God whooping our ass like that. He'll let the devil get some licks in. He'll let the devil, participate in whooping our ass and driving us to him. But it's him doing it at this point. It's him doing it today. So I'm just trying to let y'all know that's what it is. That's where it is. This is what we dealing with. You can deny it. You can reject it, as we usually do. But I'm just letting you know now, your own rejection is it's going to fuel it. It's going to fuel the punishment. It's going to increase the punishment. Our rejection of this warning is going to increase the punishment. And these punishments is for keeps. They not practice runs. They not They're not rehearsals. This is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna let you know. He gonna let us know it's him, and he gonna, and we, you know, it ain't gonna be something you can just wake up from like, ooh, that was a bad dream. No, it's real. It's continuing to go on, and your denial and my denial and rejection and rebellion against it is only fueling it. It's only gonna make it last longer and get stronger. Do y'all understand that concept? Do y'all understand the concept? Yeah. M. Dot Spot. And who's the devil? The devil is in you. Who's the devil? The question is, where did the devil come from? The devil came from you. The devil is in you. The greatest devil is in you. The greatest devil ain't the Caucasian. That's just a manifestation of what's in you. They came out of you if you black. So I don't know M. Dot Spot if you black. I don't know what you are. If you white, then that's even more. But if you black, it came out of you. And the reason why we even made, that's the question we're supposed to be asking today. Why did God make devil? It's only one creator. It's only one creator. So if the devil exists, the one creator created it. So why? If God hates the devil so much, why did he create it? Why is the devil on the planet having so much influence and impact over our life? That's some God. That's some cruel God, right? Or are we just ignorant? Are we just rejecting the reality of the purpose of what we're supposed to do here, the fight and the struggle and the holy war that we're supposed to be engaged in here? Have we let this devil deceive us into thinking that this is party time? We just here to party and play instead of learn about him and conquer and remove him or them from our planet. This is the first planet. The first planet is here. The kingdom, the dome of the king and queen of God is kingdom of heaven is within you. What if God, brought devil out of us to show us what's hiding in us and how to recognize when we doing devilishness, and that we supposed to remove devil or Satan from off our planet, this first internal planet, and then the macro planet, meaning the 196 million, square miles of the earth. This is the first earth that we got to clean up. Then we go to the outside earth. So, but they exist. You know what I'm saying? They exist. Don't get it twisted. The devil exists. I'm talking about the devils that enslaved us. They are identifiable. Ain't no mystery, ghost, spook, spirit. I'm not sure who the devil is. And you know exactly who the devil is. We know exactly who the devil is. We just too cowardly to call him out. We too weak. We too 304-ish. You know what I'm saying? We want something from them. We cowards. We love them and fear them at the same time. We love them and like them because they give us nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we fear them because they traumatized us and put fear in us for the last 470 years here in this part of the world when we was little babies, when we were so small and impressionable that we could be mentally and physically traumatized by them. And that trauma has been recorded in our DNA for almost 5 centuries now. That's why we fear them now. That's why we scared to call them out, scared to say the word Jew or Jewish or white man or devil and all that kind of stuff. We say nigga all day long. Niggas got gang of tattooed tears and I'm a gangster or whatever for getting at your own people. You had no problem saying, doing all the worst, whatever, to your own flesh and blood brothers and sisters, your own kind, but you ain't got no smoke, no bad words, no cursing, no public, nothing when it comes to your real enemy, the real devil that put us in this condition. What is your last name? Oh, we living in a post-racial. Obama was. What's your last name again? Please don't tell me it's a slave name. So it ain't no post nothing. If your name, what's your main language you speak? You're an Englishman. Are you from England? Why we speak English? Why you speak Spanish? You're not from Spain. You're not a Spanish conquistador Caucasian. So the devil is who the Nation of Islam been saying the devil is, but the devil came from God. The devil comes from within God. The opposite, dormant, negative expression of God is devil. So just like woman, just like all of us as reproductions, we was always in the originator from the very beginning. The woman was in the originator. The offspring was in the originator. All of creation was in the originator from the very beginning. But once he decides to bring it out specifically and give it a specific form and identity and a specific expression where you can identify it and study it, then we call it what it is. And, and then it's time whenever he brings something out in creation, I'm talking about the originator, our original self, our first self. This is our first self, the original God. Anything he brings into existence is for us to study. It's for us to benefit from, but it's for us to study because it represents some type of characteristic of us, within us. I don't care if it's spiders, fish, birds, bacteria, whatever it is. It came out of us. All of it represents some type of function or characteristic in us. It's all us. There's only us. This is like you say, God is only God. Everything is just expressions of the one God, the one us. We are just reproductions of our original self, our originator self, who then multiplied himself, reproduced himself infinitely on into eternity. That's all we are, the original man and woman. We don't have no mother and father in creation. The races do. All the other races, the brown, red, yellow, white, all of them have parents, parent races. We're their parent race. We don't have no parent race because we're not a race. We're not a race. We don't have no beginning or no ending. Races have beginnings and endings. We are a nation. We are a God. We are gods. We as individuals, are born and die. I'm talking about the species. Where did the species called the Black nation come from? We know where the species called the brown nation, the red nation, the yellow nation, the white nation. We all know where they came from. They came from the Black nation. But where did the Black nation come from? What race is our mother and father? We don't have one. So we're different. None is like us. So in the Quran, if y'all know anything about Islam, it says Allah is one. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom all depend, and none is like him. Don't talk about no one individual person. It means a species. M. Dot, who blocked you? Hop on the live because if you over here and you saying ninja blocked you and somebody's a chump. Who you talking about? Let it be known. Matter of fact, you can hop on the live with me. If you don't, then I have to assume you're talking about me, and then I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you, but I don't think you're talking about me. But either way, without even typing, I'd rather you get on the live and speak your piece and let me know what's going on with you. Righteous by nature, time and what must be done. Why did God make devil? Yeah, that's definitely something we can look at. Machiavelli awake. Energy is a big deal more than people think. The way you carry yourself, the way you look at the world, the energy you give off is what you receive back. Yeah, I don't know if energy is the right word, and that's part of the weakness of the English language, because I can get an estimate of what you really mean when you say energy, but this English bastard language don't allow complete and perfect expression of the divine God ideas that we have in our head. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of our problem, because this language is not perfect. It's not specific enough. One word can mean 5-6 different things. So in the real God language, it don't work like that. In real God language, everything and every idea has its own word. Its own word. In this language, one word can mean all kind of different things. Like, that's why our people, we think spirit, soul, mind, thought, energy. We think all that's the same thing. And it's not. It's all something specifically different. Spirit is not soul. Soul is not mind. Mind is not thought. You know what I mean? All of that's not energy. So this language is restricted, and that and because of that, our ability to produce and to create things and bring things into existence and share correct information is also restricted because of this bastard slave language. But I understood you, but most of us ain't gonna understand, especially if we talking about God, and that's a real super sensitive, most important subject to Black people, and that's why we can get deceived the greatest by churches and mosques and religion, and you know what I'm saying, those concepts. That's what scam us the greatest. We get mind effed and took advantage of the most in those subjects, because they can use words like that to interchangeably, like that all mean the same thing, and next thing you know, we believing in all kind of stuff. What happened to M dot? Did you M dot spot? Let me put this link up one more time. If y'all got any questions, comments, anything that I said earlier, anything you want me to talk about, or while I'm on here regarding this subject or any subject, y'all welcome to hit the stream. Y'all or hit the chat, put it in the chat, and we could talk about it. But yeah, this is about divine punishment, grace being over. The grace of God that we've been living under all our life is over with. If y'all know anything about Bible or Bible stories like Noah's Ark, and how he was preaching for 150 years that it was going to be a big flood in the middle of the Middle Eastern desert, on some sand dunes, some dry ass desert sand dunes. He building a big old ark, preaching and warning for 150 years. So I don't know how many generations that is. Why would his generation? Why would they believe him? And then he has children, and his children's generation got to say, my daddy is crazy. And yeah, your daddy crazy, been preaching this mess and building an ark. And then you got grandchildren generation. This goes on for 150 years. Why would anybody believe it's ever going to rain? Why would anybody believe Noah ain't really crazy? Because it never rained. The ark never got put to use in 150 years. So yeah, that is that like a sting operation? Is that like God playing a cruel joke? Why would he, not just wipe everybody out or hurry up and do it? Because God was mad for 150 years, according to Genesis. He saw that the people's minds was continuously, their minds and their hearts was continuously on the doing of evil. All they wanted to do was evil. All they wanted to do was twerk and thought and pimp and jack and lie and gamble and, what I'm saying, Same thing we doing today. And he tolerated it for 150 years. So much so that his servant, that his messenger, his servant had to endure 150 years worth of ridicule because he was trying to save us that would be saved. He was trying to turn us from our wicked ways. Same thing I'm on here doing. But they wasn't trying to hear it. But he still gave them 150 years worth of warning and preaching and appealing and begging and teaching and appealing and warning. 150 years. But then one day it really started to rain and didn't stop. And then they realized he wasn't crazy. But just think of all of the generations and family members of people that lived and died or whatever. And it was like my daddy or granddaddy or great granddaddy crazy. Yeah, he crazy. We just learned to deal with him. Don't listen to him. On our way to the strip club, on our way to the gambling shack, on our way to whatever we gonna go do. Don't worry about him. He crazy. We just tolerate him. You know what I'm saying? He be sleeping out there on that sand dune hill in that big ass boat. You know what I'm saying? He crazy talking to himself, claiming like he talking to the Lord. But at one point, it was time for the rain. And that's where we at now. It's raining. It's raining. Big Gooch, salute. Walaikum salam, Brother Cam. I reached out to several Hebrew Israelite brothers and they haven't responded. Yeah. Well, we here. I know today is Palm Sunday. I don't know if they observed that, but I know some of them observe Passover, which was yesterday. So if they all the way into that, if they into the Bible holidays or whatever that is, and maybe they be busy yesterday and today. But busy or not, the angel of deletion is already in the house. So my job is just to deliver the messages that I've been delivering. I'm not trying to debate with nobody. I don't want to debate nothing. All I want to do is challenges. I don't want to do a showdown, God showdowns. No debates. But clearly, since I've been calling for that, people is trying to debate and say that I'm crazy and the Bible don't say that. All right, well then you just a punk and we don't need to talk about it. If you want to get on here and prove that you a punk by declining to accept the showdown, then we can do that. But I'm not going to be debating with nobody. I ain't got no debate energy. Yeah. And that's only because they've been speaking about us. They've been speaking against us. So this is only to those that have been speaking against us. All the black Israelite groups or camps don't be speaking evil against us like that. This is only to those that speak evil against us. So those that speak evil against us, evil is the evil curse of Allah, the evil punishments of Allah is on y'all, each and every one of you. And that's what I want to talk about. And that's why they won't show up. They hoe up. Whatever you think that the Nation of Islam is guilty of, if you represent God, whatever you think that we guilty of and what the punishment should be for us, that's what the punishment is for you. That's what I've already prayed now that grace is over for you. So it got to happen to one of us. You are saying that it's going to happen to us. I'm saying it's going to happen to you. That's simple as that. We don't got nothing to debate about. All we got to do is set the calendar. All we got to do is mark the calendar. You know what I'm saying? I already spoke on it a few days ago, so my calendar is already marked. I'm already expecting what I'm expecting. No need to debate nobody. So we just see if they'll show up, and they ain't been showing up. So we'll see. We'll keep waiting on them. We'll leave the light on. Motel Hotel 7. Salute to all my mods. And it's 70-something people. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. You don't have to like what I'm saying or agree. Just hit the like button if you want, somebody else to show up. Share this to somebody that you know be talking bad. If they're talking bad or evil or whatever against the nation, share with them. Share this with them. Uncle Cam wants you. Brother Cam wants you. Wants you to run this showdown with me. Take this showdown, this God's showdown fade. It's incredible how tough and how spiritually powerful they claim that they faith in their God and all this type of stuff is. But then when you call them out to do what the Bible said do, Elijah did 5,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, they don't want to do it. They gave me an excuse. I don't got that set up. I was like, you don't got what set up? You don't like the altar with the ram and the bull. Like, bruh. So you want to be petty like that? Like, we really need a bull and all that. Why do you need a bull? That's why I'd be like, this not about following so-called traditions. You don't even know what none of that means. All that stuff was rewritten by whatever the little poet, the little Greek, white poet, a few hundred years ago. First Council of Nicaea, the little poet and the artist, they rewrote all of that. You don't need no bull and chopping and bull in pieces and an altar and knock it off. God didn't say you required that. That was Elijah and the Baal prophets that agreed to set all that stuff up. God didn't tell them to do none of that. And God ain't telling us to do it. God just say whatever y'all agree to, I'm gonna back you up. That's how God works. But yeah, y'all restricting God. No, God only gonna do what the book say. The God can only do what the Bible say. Nigga, shut up. Coward, shut your coward ass up. Yeah. Only bull we need was Michael Jordan. Oh man. View from the Mud TV, salute. But yeah, I just want to talk raw. You know what I'm saying? Grace is over. If y'all think I'm wicked because I cuss, I cuss and I curse. I'm cursing now. I really wasn't cursing. I tried cursing maybe decades ago, and it works. But then you got to be careful about how you judge or how you curse, because you open yourself up to the same curse. So I learned that early in my rod and staff career, that my rod and staff works, but whatever you putting out there with whoever you cursing, you better make sure you ain't guilty of the same thing, because the rod and staff is like a boomerang. It's gonna hit the target, but then it's gonna come back and hit you too. I'm just letting you know that's how it works. But at a certain point, if the rebellion and the wickedness is so overbearing, then I don't mind getting hit. I'm not gonna get hit worse than you are. I know if I throw a rod or a staff or a curse or something like that out there, it's gonna work. And I know it's gonna hit me back. It's not gonna hit me as bad as it's gonna hit you, because I see your violations and I see mine. I know what my violations are. So it's just like anything else, like, hunting, boxing, fighting, or whatever. Like, even if you a master hunter or a fisherman or something, or a cook, I still know I got to break some eggs to make an omelet. I'm still gonna have to get dirty. I'm gonna have to wrestle with these animals. I know I'm gonna beat them, but I might, incur a certain injury that I never got. He might claw me in the eye. Like, I'm gonna still win, but I just know what I'm getting into, when I'm calling for that, when I'm going out there for that. So I'm with it though, because the conditions of our people and the rebellion and the boldness and all of that is just intolerable no more. It's intolerable. So whatever, it's whatever now. It's whatever now. But watch what my God do. It's your God too, but since I'm, got the microphone and I'm the one putting it out there like that, Not saying that I'm holy and nothing like that, squeaky clean and nothing. No, I'm just doing what the God said I can do, and what I should do is what it's time to do. I can't overdo it. I can't exceed the limits, but I'm getting at the ones that's slandering us. I'm not initiating nothing. I'm responding. I'm responding to aggression, to slander, to defamation, to libel, to blasphemy. I'm responding to the blaspheming the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is Farrakhan. You say that 3 times. The Holy Spirit of your Bible is Farrakhan. The Holy Spirit of your Quran is Farrakhan. It's a he. It's not a she, and it's not a it. It don't speak for itself. It has to wait until he hears from the Father. Then he speaks what he hears from the Father to the people. That can't be a spook ghost spirit, especially an omnipresent, omniscient, or whatever, all-knowing. No, that's a man that's not omnipresent, that's not omniscient, all-knowing. He got to wait till he hear from the Father what to tell us, to tell, the message to give to us. That's the real spirit of truth. He will guide you into all truth. Yeah, that's who Jesus said was coming after him, a man. There's many things 2025 years ago. He said, there's many things that I could tell you, but you can't bear to hear it now. But when he is come, not me, not when I come back. No, he not coming back. But somebody is coming back in his name, and it's a he. When he is come, the spirit of truth, he will guide you into all truth that you couldn't bear to hear 2,000 years ago. That's Farrakhan. So anybody that's blaspheming and disrespectful, verbal at the mouth, slandering Farrakhan, that's not forgivable, according to your Bible. It really ain't forgivable, according to me. And this book, this Bible, and this Quran, but we talking about your Bible. According to your Bible, whoever the Holy Spirit is to you, you blaspheming against the Holy Spirit is not forgivable. I don't know what the punishment is supposed to be, but it is not going to be forgiven. It's not no grace involved. So whatever the consequences for that is that's what you going to get. So since these tough guy God people that claim God and claim be Israelites, they got such foul stuff to say against Farrakhan, and you let the grace of God expire. You thought because you was under you didn't even know you was under the grace of God. You thought wasn't nothing going to happen because you was under the grace of God, and it was allowed for you to blaspheme the Holy Spirit, Farrakhan. But now grace is over with. Watch how quick the non-forgivable punishment kick in, especially during this whole Holy Week time. No coincidence. No coincidence. C Style says, can you find God without organized religion? Organized religion. Like I said, them English words, like why wouldn't you want, we don't even got to call it religion. Let's just call it theology. Theology is the study of God and hopefully the practice and application of whatever you study. But why do we use words that, that's supposed to have like a negative stigma? Organized religion. Why would I want to be a part of something that's not organized? C-Star, answer that for me. You say, can you find God without organized religion? Well, if God wants unity, if God wants us to be organized, why would we think the God of a religion that's not organized is the God we want? You know what I'm saying? Is the real God. So we want a selfish God. We want a God that inspires us to be selfish and be a little island and be on our own and antisocial. Why would I want to find a God that's not, interested in us being organized in the theology of how we follow him or how we represent him. That makes sense? Yeah, I don't want no unorganized nothing. I don't want no chaotic nothing. The opposite of organized is chaos. Salute Dawn, peace, Kam-Pain family. There are cowards, and my Facebook is at war with me because I'm not only do I share your content, but I'm calling these knowledge seekers and fake prophets out. Yeah, send them over here. I'm definitely it'd be my honor and privilege and pleasure to publicly spank them for my sister, my god sister Dawn, the god sis Dawn. You know what I'm saying? To the break of dawn, you not breaking. Yeah, send them over here. Of course, they're not gonna show up. They're gonna 304 up and tell them I said that. Cam said, my brother Cam, that's my brother in the faith. You know, we don't call ourselves moves. That's just my brother in faith. We just believe in righteousness. We ain't gotta call it nothing. That's just my brother in the faith. My brother in the faith school, theology school. We studying about God and self and kind and all of that. He said he'll run all my fades. He said, I dare you to come over there and say whatever you saying to Dawn, say it to him. Tell him that. And here go to live, right? Here go the invite link. Here go the StreamYard link. You never have to, I just want to show you something. I want to show the public something. Yeah, just send them over here. Your little brother got him. It'd be my honor to show y'all something. Supreme Touch, salute, Supreme Touch, salute. Mod, I don't want unorganized God either, right? Yeah, I don't know, organized. Those is words that we scared because we've been traumatized. We've been scammed, like Malcolm said, bamboozled, hoodwinked, run amok, led astray in the name of God, in the name of religion. But we clearly saw who was doing that to us. It was a specific race of people that gave us that false teaching, gave us hell in the name of that God. We saw that wasn't right. We knew that wasn't right. So organized religion, that's organized Satanism. We don't want nothing organized that we can clearly see is against us. That's not religion. Why would I be, organized? Everything is organized, right? Birds, bees, ants, everything is organized. Why, why are we scared of something organized? Yeah, I just let you know. I don't want nothing if it ain't organized. And if it ain't organized, I want people to get together. I want us to organize and get it organized. If it's chaos, I want people that's going to get together and bring order out of the chaos. Why would I? Yeah, so. But I understand why we so apprehensive about organized religion. I understand what he mean, but don't get carried away. Don't let the devil deceive you into thinking that you ain't supposed to be looking for organization and unity. In the name of God, theology, religion is just something that you do religiously. That's a state of life. Religion is just something that you dedicated to. Basketball can be your religion. Stock market, money, anything you do religiously is your religion. And it's organized. We ain't got no problem with no other area of doing something religiously except when it comes to this God subject, because people is telling you that you got to put your soul on the line. Like, you know what I'm saying? It has to do with what happens to you after you die, or where were you before you was born? All them mystery things that can't be proven and just drive you crazy with your imagination. They can take advantage of your ignorance and your imagination. So religion for us is not that. You know what I mean? Islam for us is not religion. Islam for us is the nature, our nature, something we can prove. Something we can prove. Never believe in something that don't got no basis in provable reality. No, that's foolishness. That's insanity or foolishness. Never believe in nothing if you don't see no basis of it in reality? Why would I ever believe a snake can talk? Why would I ever believe this or that? Like, certain like little symbolic stories in the Bible. No, that's symbolism. That's metaphors. That's not literal. That's allegories. That's something else. Fables. That's not literally real. So that's what we here to do. That's what we do over here. We shoot down all of the allegories and all of that. We prove that it's symbolic language. It's not literal. We prove it. How you prove it? Because you can't prove it. That is real. That's like saying, so how can you prove that snakes don't talk? Nigga, snakes don't talk. I don't need to prove snakes talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you they don't. All you got to do is show me a snake that talk. That's the logic. That's how you back engineer or deductive reasoning. Why am I sit here and argue about do snakes talk or not? Do you know what kind of fool I would have to be to argue with you, another fool that believes snakes talk? That's what you believe? Okay, where is your basis for that belief? What reality would even ever justify you believing that snakes talk? What reality would ever justify you believing Jesus didn't have a biological father? Why would you ever believe Jesus didn't have a biological father? Oh, that was immaculate conception. Jesus didn't have a. Why would you ever believe that? And you are adult. Like people rely on you. They very livelihood. Like you might be a doctor, you might be a police, might be a surgeon, might be a parent. Like people, whole lives depend on you, and you believe in fairy tale. You believing in the tooth fairy. You believing in Santa Claus. So you really can't be trusted when it comes down to it. If it get certain things get so hot or get to a certain level, you can't be trusted. Look what you believe. You believe what? You believe Jesus what? Oh, you believe snakes what? Come on. S.A. Max, I see Trump speaking all the time. Right. I mean, that's right. But that's not no snake. That's a human being with snake characteristics. That's not no snake. I understand what you mean, but that's not a snake. That's a man. That's a weak grafted Caucasian white man. That's not a snake. So View from the Mud, if snakes could talk, would you sit around and listen? I mean, it would be normal. Some people think parrots talk. Parrots don't talk. Parrots record sound and repeat, sounds that they have heard. That's not talking, though. You can't hold no conversation with a parrot or no animal that sound like they can make human noises. You can't talk to no animal like that. They don't talk. Dawn say church was confusing growing up. Absolutely. I grew up in a church. I grew up in Apostolic Faith Home Assembly on Adams and I forgot what that was. Adams and something in LA. My grandparents was the elders, and my grandmother played was head of the choir, played the piano and the organ for 50, 60 years or something like that. All that garbage, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was garbage. I thought, shit, they knew better than I did. They brought me here. What do I know? I'm just a little child. Okay, this is confusing as hell. It's spooky. It's scary. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody yelling and hooping and hollering and speaking in tongues and saying that they did this miracle and did that miracle. Like, oh, okay. But when it really came down to it, did none of it work. So, I was rebellious. You know what I'm saying? But that was something I was supposed to rebel against. But once I got NOI theology and information and studying that, of course, I was trying to debunk and disprove that for 2 or 3 years, rebelling against that like I was rebelling against any other religious dogma. But it was too rooted in provable science of everything in life, provable reality, laws of nature, laws of creation, laws of mathematics. Oh, okay. So y'all ain't saying this spooky, this mean this, and this really happened. Like, oh no, brother, that means such and such. No, it's just symbolic language. It's just this. It's just symbolism. Snake just represents a crafty, slick, slithery, subtle, blah, blah, blah. And it actually says that, the Bible actually explains that it's just a symbolic description of certain type of human beings. Oh, ye vipers, and oh, you scorpions, and y'all such. Is like the Bible is full of, it called Jesus a lamb. Jesus wasn't no goddamn sheep, a literal sheep. It's just he was meek like a lamb. You know what I'm saying? But then he's a lion, a conquering lion, and then he's a rock, and then he's a fish, and then he's a lily of the valley, then he's like, oh man. I thought y'all had my best interest at heart, Granny, Grandpa. I thought how did y'all live this long believing this fairy tale foolishness? You didn't. You didn't. I mean, your body stayed alive, but you didn't accomplish nothing. I know you loved me, but your love was tainted with foolishness, phantasmagorical foolishness. I know you loved me, but you believed in the devil. You believed in the white man. You believed that it was healthy for me to go get some a gang of these Fauci stabs when I was in elementary school. You thought that was going to be good for me. You didn't know that that's what got my little sister up out of here and had me growing up sickly with all kind of, but we here now to avenge them. We here now to make you know the truth so you will be free from all of that. Nothing that I'm saying this is not no freestyle or just Can. Yeah, he in tune. Yeah, brother Can, like he be saying some stuff. Thank you, JL, for the cash app. He be saying some stuff. Man, how you know that, Can? Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, you really in tune. Like, no, I'm really from hell. I really have been terrorized, tormented. You know what I'm saying? My whole life. Poisoned my whole life. Heartbroken my whole life. Grieving, sorrowing my whole life. Outcast, clown, mocked, rejected my whole life. So I didn't have nothing to lose. This, like the Bible say, this gospel was good news for me. Oh shit. Oh Lord, I get to actually, be of value and find some meaning and some purpose for my life. I don't have to be born and die and just work and, go through the hamster wheel, nothing bullshit, like everybody else that I seen, man, So I want y'all to be as free as I was made free by Farrakhan, and these teachings of God in person that freed me from the fear, freed me from the ignorance, freed me from the self-hatred and other people's hating me. I just want to share, and like I said, I'm not selling nothing. You don't have to pay me nothing but respect and a little bit of attention. Pay me enough attention to hear whether what I'm saying is some BS to you or not. That's all. I don't pass no collection plate. I ain't charging no money. I'm charging myself with certain disciplines and certain, that I'm trying to clean my own life up and work off some of my sins. I already tasted the punishment. I know what divine punishment feel like. I already know. And I already know some of y'all know what it is, but y'all just didn't really want to admit that's what it was. Because God's so merciful, he'll take it up off you. He'll whoop your ass with it, have your mind inside out, grieving and going through, and then he'll take it up off of you to see what you're going to do. And then we go right back to partying. Some of us got keep a little conscience on a little angel on our shoulder, but then we wind up floating right back out into the shore, into the water, into the mud, into the sewage. The dog returned to their vomit. We return to our vomit. We find ourselves right back in that same shit, doing the same stuff. because that's daddy. He don't want to destroy us, but then he know he gotta let us do what we choose. He gotta let us. We not clones. We not robot clones and shit. No, he gonna let us do what we choose. And I'm here to say I done did so much what I choose, and it ain't nothing there. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to tell somebody don't do it when you did it, because they're gonna be like, you did it. And you got Bernie Mac at that point. You gotta shut what they call the F up at that point. Like the little youngsters is right. Damn, yeah, I did do it. Shit. But I'm telling you, the stakes is higher now. Like, we had grace and we had some get back. Y'all don't got no get back. Y'all do it. Y'all not bouncing back. They got perfected weapons now that you not meant to bounce back from. They got drugs your brain ain't gonna bounce back from. They got certain stuff you not gonna detox from. Yeah, my generation, sherm or the weed or like whatever, certain stuff that it'll scramble your brain and you'll have some issues with it. What they got now with the youth, what they got, the fentanyl and all that, you not coming back. One time is all you need to do is slip up one time and that's it. Oh, I didn't know. I thought, nah, it's for keeps. It's for keeps. So that's why I'm on here. You know what I'm saying? This is my final call. This is my, because I started just like everybody, all the FY, not saying that, that we don't still do that. But a lot of us that really don't know how to express the teachings or don't know how to verbalize it. That's why we go out with the Final Call newspaper. We go out in suit and tie and business attire and the hot, looking the most civilized, like civilized, clean men, clean black men. We don't got no beards and no dreads and no, colored hair and hydrogen peroxide, red, all it. No, we go out looking like real serious men, serious, respectable, civilized men, businessmen. And our business is waking our people up. Our business is conflict resolution. Our business is being an example of coming from the same place you come from, same mud, same dirt, same hell you come from. And now we can be here. We're not running. We running to y'all. We running to give y'all this information because we know you suffering just like we suffer. This is what freed us. This is what freed us. This is what made us organized. This so-called religion. This is what made us organized and built a brotherhood and a love that we was really looking for in the turf, in the gang, in the section, or even you find it in the penitentiary. You was looking for it on the basketball team, on the football team. You was looking for this. This is it. That's why I don't knock like the Hebrew brothers or the Israelite ones. I salute that part, that brotherhood, that army part, but you're not finna be no army of slandering or blaspheming the Holy Spirit. You just finna 450 or 850 Baal prophets that get the Baal prophet treatment. So I salute righteous brotherhood, but if it's at the expense of slandering, other righteous brotherhood, that's not righteous brotherhood. You're not righteous. You the enemy. You the problem. You the trash that got to get took out first, cleaned up first. Because if we so wicked, then you supposed to be calling for the showdown challenge. You supposed to be calling for your God to get rid of us, like Elijah did. So the atmosphere, ever since my pops handed me Message to the Black Man in the late 80s, it changed my whole life. I mean, my whole way of thinking. All praise is due to Allah forever. Man, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And he wasn't no holy roller. Like, y'all heard Elijah Muhammad. Y'all, so many illiterate, like don't even know how to pronounce English words. Only went to the 4th grade of school back in the early 1900s. Born in 1897. So 1897, 98, 99, 1900, 1901, 1902, 1903, 1904, 1905, 1906. So maybe around 1906, and he was 9 years old. Because I guess whatever the fourth grade is, 8, 7, 8, 9 years old, you know what I'm saying? 1905. That's the grade curriculum back then. The Negro, whatever type of education Negroes was getting fresh out of slavery in 1905, that's what Elijah Muhammad's education. He only completed the third grade of school and then went to the fourth and didn't complete the fourth grade way back in 1904 or 5 or something like that. So what we expect him to sound like what, a Harvard professor? No, I thank God he sounds just like me. Broken English, just like me, but his heart is just like God. His faith is just like God. His nature is just like God's. That's all I need. I don't need no pretty words. I don't need no big ass words, no vocabulary words. No, give me a little sandbox, kindergarten, preschool words. As long as you know how to put them together like he did and built a whole army, built a brotherhood, built a nation, women and men with his little broken English. And then we got ninjas going to talk about he was a PDF file. Talking about he was a con man or he killed Malcolm X. And they said, nah, I don't forget that. The Bible say God don't forget that, but I don't forget that. And God is with me to not forgive that. So that's where I'm at. And that's why these 304s won't show up. Just verbally. I ain't talking about physical. I ain't talking about doing nothing physical to nobody. I don't want nobody to try to do nothing physical to us because you gonna lose. But I ain't trying to inspire that tough guy, macho, physical shit. No, let's keep it spiritual. Let's keep it supernatural God challenge or whatever y'all claim God is. Keep it there. Let's keep it there. I don't want to do no physical stuff. I want to do this spiritual stuff or verbal stuff that y'all don't want to show up for. Y'all want to show up for the verbal, like back and forth. The scripture said, enough of that. We didn't. Everybody then debated whatever the so-called scripture says and scripture interpretations. This is the only way that you prove whether the interpretation is right or not. They could tell me I don't got that set up. I don't got that altar set up. Oh, that's your reason for not doing the challenge with me right here live? You don't got that particular setup? No, okay. You don't got that equipment. You don't got that DJ equipment. You don't got them Technique 1200s. So you can't play that tune. And you're like, knock it off. View from the mud, 75% of what you read in the Bible is speaking of future tense. 25% speaks of the past. Just understanding that makes the Bible real and relevant. It was meant to confuse us. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And if it's a prophecy book, that means prophets wrote it. Prophets means that they had the gift from God to see into the future so clearly and so vividly that they was able to write in detail stories and circumstances, events, people's names, all of that in detail. They wrote it in advance, thousands of years before it actually happened. That's what a prophet is. The Bible says it's a book of prophecy. It don't say it's a history book. If it's not a book of prophecy, why the hell do we need to read it? If it ain't got nothing to do with us fulfilling nothing today, why the hell do we need to read it? I don't need to read on history book. So it's prophecy. Human beings have the God power ability to see the future, to travel in time, to mentally time travel in detail and document the future before it happened. That's what a prophet is, a human being, not no space ghost. It's the so-called space ghost part of the human being that can do that. The average speed of thought, which is 24 billion with a B, 24 billion miles per second, not miles per hour, 24 billion miles per second. So anything faster than 186,000 miles per second, which is the speed of light, Anything faster than the speed of light is time travel. So if the average hog eater is thinking mine is traveling 24 thoughts move at 24 billion miles in 1 second, a hog eater can see the future. A hog eater can remember the past. They got memory. They can go back in the past mentally and see vividly and remember past events and conversations, and they can go in the future and see future conversations and events and circumstances. That's the power of the human brain, which is God. Not bound by the speed of light, not bound by time and space. This is what you are. Ye are all God's children of the Most High. This is the child. This is the underdeveloped little vessel is the child that needs to learn and experience. It needs to exercise and experience this brain, this, you know what I'm saying? To develop a soul, to develop an identity, an eternal identity. That's what we're here for. We're not here to party and twerk. We're not here to gang bang. We're not here to get high and get drunk. We're here to remove Satan, really. We're here to remove Satan. We're here to learn self and kind and purify and purge ourselves of that Satan that we produce. That's what we really hear. That's really the warfare that we here to do. We here in Satan's time to get rid of Satan. But who is Satan? The people that enslaved us for 400 years. That's the satanic race, but they came out of us. So Satan is just those characteristics. No matter what race of people is practicing them or demonstrating them, you see them, they should be removed. You see somebody that's dedicated to those characteristics, that person should be removed. Yeah. So, but I appreciate y'all listening. Hopefully I ain't overdoing it. I don't want to stress you out. I don't want to cause y'all unnecessary distress and affliction, even though that's what time it is. God said that he's going to seize us with distress and affliction and loss, that perhaps we may humble ourselves and change our activity, change our actions, punishing us, divinely punishing us, because that's the only thing that's going to make us act right. Words ain't going to do it. I can talk all of this talk. Only reason why you hearing and be like, man, you talking that shit is because you already is getting your ass whooped. You only agreeing with me because you, along with me, like myself, have been getting our ass whooped by the consequences of our own choices, our own actions. So this is good news for, oh, damn, I don't have to keep getting my ass whooped. Like, I'm not just, this ass whooping, this terrible choices and the consequences don't got to take me out. No, they don't have to take you out. This is how you get out from under that. This is how you get out from under it. Same way I'm doing. You just don't think I'm just a good talker. No, it sounds good because I'm speaking into your pain. Even though it say the Kam-Pain show, no, this is the pain you were going through also. We going through it together. That's why it resonates. That's why you can relate. Like, damn, that nigga be saying some shit. Like, oh, no, I'm just tapping into what you know. I know you going through. That's all. Dawn said MK Ultra. What is this really? MK Ultra is a mind control program by the Satans, the people that enslaved us by that race. It's not just the United States government. Europe has a, they all the European governments of the world have an MK Ultra type program. They all have mind control sciences, behavioral sciences, where they have studied the brains of the human being and run all kind of experiments and learn how to detach through trauma and torture and terrorism and lies and poisons, how to detach consciousness, how to separate or split consciousness. And they learned that, mainly in part by what they did to the black woman. The black woman was the number one test subject. And that started in slavery, how they used to run through our little girls on the plantation and RAP them, which produced us, which produced the despised and the rejected people that had white fathers, RAPIST fathers, and innocent little black girl mothers that couldn't really love the children because they was products of these. So that caused the women to detach their consciousness. They had to create split personalities to where when the slave master come and, it's time, little Missy Ann, time for your, you get this pink meat. And, they have to split their personality. They have to turn they natural identity switch off and switch this, just let them do it, let them get it, because otherwise, it's already hell, but they had to split personality themselves. So that was the beginning of the MK Ultra type experiment, learning that the human being could be split. And one side of their personality or consciousness could be turned off and another could be turned on to perform these functions. And then you can turn that off and turn this back on, and he wouldn't even remember, or she wouldn't even remember what happened to him or what they did. That started in slavery. That started on the plantation of what the slave masters was doing to our little girls. That's the MK Ultra beginning. To crack a mind, to crack people's mind, split them in half or split them in different pieces and program pieces of it to perform this that they wanted them to perform, and then be able to turn it off, and then they still be able to function as though they never did it. You know how our stripper or female or girls is doing, how they strip or how they 304 or, on the blade, out there on the blade and acting like, oh, it's cool. I smashed 100, but that's not the same as if I get married and got a husband. That's just work. That's just work. That's not really, I don't even count them as bodies. No, I don't got 300 bodies. I only got 5 bodies. And it was my 5 boyfriends that I loved. That's called MK Ultra right there. Yeah. But yeah, let me know if I'm making sense. I'm not saying that you should like this subject, but hopefully y'all like that I understand a little bit about the subject. Because the more that you understand, the more patient you will be for your own people and our trauma. You won't be taking our sisters, emotional outbursts and they insanity personal, like it's against you. You'd be more apt to try to lean into it and try to be a mechanic and see if you can help fix them instead of help hurt them, add more damage to the vehicle just because you see it's already shaking and it's already knocking because somebody else damaged it. That's how we're supposed to look at each other. We're supposed to handle each other with as much patience as possible because we didn't do the damage, especially if I know I ain't the one damaged you. I can be patient. I can out-patience you. I can outlast you with patience. You're going to get tired of rebelling against me before I'm going to get tired of you rebelling against me because I didn't damage you. If I'm the one damaged you, then I might feel guilty and I might not want to hear your rebellion because I know I'm the one that caused it. But if I know I ain't the one that caused it, like you ain't going to wear me out. So that's what we got to be. We got to be tolerant and patient and take plenty and suffer much. And say, forgive them. They know not what they do because I didn't do it to you. So I don't have no personal bitterness. I don't have no personal trigger for you getting at me a certain kind of way. Like, all right, well, if you say so, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I can't let you be a nuisance and violate and spit your demon germs on the rest of the class. So if you too wild, then I just got to block you or get you out of here. But generally speaking, what I'm saying, I can, it ain't nothing. You ain't no threat to me. Yeah. But son of mine, What's good? I'm over here on this little live. Salute DJ X1. Say peace to the peoples.
Peace from the east of
The east side of America. I'm gonna get off here in a minute. Supreme Touch DJ, thank you for the super chat. DJ X1, Supreme Touch, salute. KM Jason Bourne, right? Exactly. Jason Bourne, the Bourne Identity, and all them other movies. That's really how they do it. They crack us. What's your thoughts, young son of?
Imagine if a prophet, in this day and age, was released. He was given an instruction to our brothers and sisters. He was like, damn, I'm trying to think like what's relevant like in this day and age. Like, shoot, let's say hypothetically speaking. I don't know what specifically y'all really talking about.
No, just talking about well, we're talking about the consequences of stuff that we doing, how that we've been under grace, but now it's the punishments is being allowed to happen based on the consequences of what we used to do. Now only thing that's gonna make us act right today is us being able to fully feel the consequences of or the punishment of what we did. So, and then we was also talking about MK Ultra, which is mind control, and how these people have been practicing and perfecting mind control over us through trauma and torment and RAPE of our little girls in slavery for 400 years. So, yeah, man, just getting to the pain, bringing the pain or relieving the pain. You ever seen that movie Manchurian Candidate?
Yeah.
You seen that? Yeah. Ija Morris. Cam, thoughts on these devils and some Sambos trying to bury Carmelo Anthony? No, I'm not. Have you heard Carmelo Anthony news? Yeah, I ain't up on that. What's going on with Carmelo? I've been seeing some. Well, I don't even know. Like I can't even, because a lot of it is like gossip. So most stuff I don't really repeat because I don't know if it's accurate or true or real or whatever. Social media is a hell of a drug, and you get caught up if you repeat the wrong thing. So when an unrighteous platform brings me news, I don't just repeat it. I look carefully into it, for fear that I might harm a people or say something harmful about somebody in ignorance and then be sorry for what I did because I got it from social media.
Salute, Brother Jabril. I see you in the chat.
Yeah.
That made me think though, like, shoot, if like, shoot, you already see with the minister how they be treating them. Like just for the past, decade,
man.
From I'm just speaking like in general layman's terms. I'm not even like being specific, shoot, like all across the board. You know what I'm saying? It's just we can't even expect. We can't receive grace,
man.
When the punishment comes, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine how that's gonna be.
Wow, dang! He said Carmelo stuck KV to DZF in self-defense. Wow. Did you hear something about that?
I heard, I think that was like some high school. I didn't, because he said Carmelo Anthony. I'm thinking of
some high school kids. Wait a minute. Hold on, man. So Carmelo stuck a high school KV to its demise. Is that what y'all saying? Y'all let me know, man. Let us know. I don't really want to dwell on that, but I definitely want to know how that happened. Like, because Carmelo like 7 feet tall, ain't he? I don't know why he would need to poke something if that's the case. Y'all let me know, man. I'm not trying to really get into no smut and nothing like that, but seemed like he could have just grabbed them up and shit. I don't know.
Carmelo from deep. And then he just shoots a 3.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They trying to make it seem like he snapped. Oh, like on some MK Ultra mind control stuff. Oh, okay. So I see. That's why y'all connected the dot. Not the basketball player.
No, okay, so that's what, yeah, because so it's a different Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, it's different.
I'm thinking the NBA dude, but yeah, it's
Okay. See, I'm saying. Y'all about to have me respond. Yeah, see, that's why I don't do the social media stuff.
But it's Carmelo with a K.
Carmelo. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, that's crazy. Not the basketball player. This is a high school student named Carmelo Anthony. Okay, yeah. He's a young boy. So they both the same age.
Yeah, they was like in the same grade. So.
Oh, track me. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, I don't. Like I said, I don't. You know. Did they say it was supposed to be racially motivated? Oh, it did? Oh, okay. Well, I can't speak on that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely automatically I have a default mode. I have a default assessment mode that I already got in my mind, but I can't say it on YouTube. I definitely can't say it on Digital Soapbox Network. But y'all pretty much know probably what it is.
Yeah, they started a GoFundMe for the brother and everything
too. The KV told him he was on the wrong side under a tent or something. He was like, two brothers, twins. He deleted one of them. Didn't two black twins just get deleted? Two Muslim black twins?
Yeah, in like the woods.
Yeah.
That's different.
Oh, that's different. Yeah. Maybe. Oh well. Yeah, I'm saying let me hold my thoughts. Let me hold my thoughts. Man. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. What is y'all's thoughts on that? I ain't gonna read them, but you know, are y'all's thoughts close to my default thoughts? Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, Uncle Ruben. To those striving for righteousness in this rotten, wicked world. Peace to those striving for righteousness in this rotten, wicked world. Likewise. So yeah, I didn't read that story, but I guess I'll look into it. I was looking at some other little gossip or something. It's like a whole, like today, I don't know if they hit the G5 negative frequency button. You know what I'm saying? All I seen was dirt, smut, negative stories on YouTube today. I just turned it off. Like it was all like gossip stuff though. It wasn't even like the regular negative. Oh. It was just like messy, you know, stuff. So I was like, man, like where's the positive? You know, usually I'll be looking for science and technology and breakthroughs or even medical. It's like today, boy, on what's today? It's Palm Sunday. Yeah, Palm Sunday. Yeah, they wasn't liking it. The demons wasn't liking it. The dad came out and said it wasn't racially motivated. The twins' dad. So who is the twins? The twins is the victim?
I believe so, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. The anti-blackness garbage is at all-time high in them schools. Long Beach schools steady have incidents against black children. Yeah, well, they know they making it racial. They definitely making it racial, or it's always been that. But they inspiring our Mexican brothers and sisters to take part in that and side with the caveman side. So that's the part. That's the bad part. Let's see. I was seeing something. What did I see on? I seen something about Floyd Mayweather having a big $100 million judgment, or they talking about he was scamming or something. Yes. Seen that? Yeah, like he was supposed to be scamming, and he was coming down on him for scamming. You know, and he had to sell some houses or something. They own Floyd Mayweather real tough right now. I don't know why. Because Floyd Mayweather was recently talking about he was down with Israel, he's down with the Zionist Israel, and his number one friends and all of that. So I don't know if he tried to do something against them or whatever, because they wouldn't really let him go out like that if they was really on his side. So I don't know if that's a real story or not, but whatever. That's what I seen. The KV twin allegedly had a rep as bully, or the twins had a rep as being bullies. Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I can't comment. You know what I'm saying? Condolences to the family. Condolences to the family. But we at the time of punishment. We at the time of grace is over with. Divine punishment is the only thing that's gonna make us act right. And if we don't act right, we're gonna act sleep. We're gonna act long kiss good night. We won't be acting at all.
Oh, you know that Blackstreet song?
Yeah.
You gotta give it that kiss good night.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Before I'm yeah, so we're not mocking death, but it was Passover. It is Passover for, and death is in the house. I was speaking on that yesterday too, about how the angel of death clearly has to be a human being or human beings, because ain't no ghost gonna stop at the gate post or door post and see whether there's some blood on the post or not.
Right, some Bone Thugs and Harmony.
You know what I'm saying? Crossroads. Right. I don't think angels, spirit, ghosts is bound by doors can't stop them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they stop at your door and check for nothing. I think that God is supposed to be omnipresent, so he's already everywhere at once. So I don't think that Passover is accurate for a spirit. It has to be for physical flesh and blood. That's the only thing that's going to make you stop at a door and look and see if it's, so that blood is going to tell me whether they believers in the real God. Oh, okay. Because if you a spirit, you already in the house and you already know if they disbelievers or not. You don't need no blood on no door, no physical door to tell you that. So allegedly, apparently, the angel of death that was taking out the firstborns of Egypt had to be human beings. You know what I'm saying? Dawn said the best thing I ever did was remove my son from public school systems, public fool system. 12 years a slave, a mental slave. Absolutely right. A lot of us, even my son, he spent the last few, because of the pandemic, the last few years of his high school not in a classroom, and it's some social consequences, like, because the children really be feeling depressed and really be like missing their homies and missing, the socializing. But if socializing is just toxic and sliding and violence and drugs and smashing, STI little females, like, then, it's you probably saving them.
No, sure.
You probably saving them. Ain't no probably to it. A lot of us, they even go to jail and go to prison, get preserved and saved. Jail actually saves us, because all the homies that we was kicking it with and doing our thing with in the streets wind up dead or paralyzed or, strung out or something like that. And we know we was right there with them, and we would have been with them in that too. So similar principles, like you said, with this public food system. So I know that the children ain't going to agree with you, because they just now living. They never lived before. And they like, you got to go to school, and everybody else, like, they the extreme FOMOs, like, you know what I'm saying? Children, young, because they don't know no better. They ain't never lived before. So everything to them is fear of missing out. Why I don't get to. But, if you can keep them, keep them occupied or whatever with other activities or other social type stuff, then, hopefully they can get over it.
I never told you about that time I dodged a bullet.
Oh, did you?
It was COVID. I was trying to get with this one girl, and then my mom was like, "You gotta ask your dad," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, happy birthday." I sent her a little text. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Dodged a bullet. Neo, Walmart employees crashing out. Our Walmart. You see anything about that? Walmart employees.
I just took that as reference to school. That's all I'll be looking at my school staff.
Oh, like the Walmart employees. What Walmart employees doing? They getting violent? They losing their jobs. What they doing?
Oh, I think that might be some truth to that because I did
All right, laying off a lot of people.
Some like
is that the DEI? Is that the Trump DEI stuff or something else?
I think I think it's the DEI, but then it's also some like how Target did some like I think maybe I don't know. There's a lot going on. Ain't
nobody I seen something earlier about Walmart being some undercover military bases or whatever. Like they really got Walmart strategically situated throughout America and throughout black neighborhoods, especially, or ghetto neighborhoods, because they supposed to be like little not substation. What you call them things, like mini bases or mini something like that. So that's something we can look at because everything is coming to the light. Whatever is going on is coming to the light.
Speaking of light, you seen how China put America on blast with their little because America with the tariffs, they tripping. So then China was like, all them little designer clothes you'll be buying. Yeah, they just sent it to Italy, put a little staple on it, and then raised the prices up.
Oh yeah. They raised, and so Trump tried to raise tariffs to either 145% or one, and then China said, okay, we're gonna raise ours to 125 everywhere around you. Like, so anybody that's trying to do business with America. So I mean, we at it. Trump is the guy that I prayed for to do exactly what he's doing right now, which is to help bring Babylon the Great crash into their knees. The fall of Babylon, brought to you by the beast, whose head wound was healed and is going against their own deep state brothers and draining the swamp, which they never can drain. But I love the fact he's going to war, even though it looked like they done made RFK Jr. tap out. So he used to be all, anti-Fauci situation, but now he's pro Israel. You know what I'm saying? So another one bites the dust, apparently. Same day parlay piece, DJ X1. AI is about to take over everything. Well, this is AI. He's about to take over everything. Take over everything your business going.
The only thing I'm worried, AI, I'm not really surprised. Like, you think like technology wise, like we have these little cellular devices. You think AI ain't been around here for like come on years,
right?
Whatever they allow the public to have general access to, that's just like the leftovers.
That's the leftover. By the time we get it, trust and believe, they got something far superior. DEI only benefited cave women, alphabets, and Latinos or Hispanics. I ain't gonna say only benefited, but they mostly benefited. You gotta be correct. You gotta be all the way correct with your language, especially on public platforms. So it didn't only benefit, it mostly benefited. It benefited a few blacks, a few little specks here and there, a few little chocolate chips here and there. But mostly it was all of the others. And like you said, the alphabet, the Rainbow Coalition. Watching the party die, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, the stripper party, you know what I'm saying, the Disney parties, freak off parties, camps, YouTube keep blocking the.
That's what we'll call them, little Walmart spots, little C camps.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got you. Yeah. Yep. That's what I mean. Yeah. So it's all warfare. It's all war, man. It's all war. And we waiting for the full manifestation. We waiting for the full outright attack to where we can see our military weapons go into full motion mode. And what I mean by that, the UFO phenomenon, and the forces of nature phenomenon, the rain, hail, snow, earthquakes, heat waves, blizzards, tornadoes, hurricanes, the
stuff technology has yet to, get control of.
Right. They still trying to give credit to HAARP for. So that's what's going on. That's what we waiting on. This is the law, literally the law before that storm. Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, this is where we on. Also, we still doing this. I still got my little sale going on. Damn, I got the wrong thing. Take advantage of it while y'all can. Ionic colloidal silver, westcoastcam.com. Take advantage of this Palm Sunday / Holy Week sale on ionic colloidal silver, the holy water. Holy water, getting rid of these vampire parasites, these demons, these zombie germs. So yeah, stock up while you can. What else is going on? I guess that's it. Anything you want to speak on?
Shoot, yeah,
It's only going to accelerate and intensify. Yes. So this is divine punishment. The hour is upon us. This is the divine punishment. And it don't mean one day. Like people be saying atonement, not atonement day, but the Passover, like it's one day, or this stuff ain't one day. The day of judgment is not one 24-hour day. All of these represents days, meaning years. So these are the years of divine punishment, the years of judgment, years of the wrath of Allah or God, years of the war of Armageddon. None of that happens in one 24-hour day. All of that means that we have entered into the years of that. So if y'all into the Bible, y'all know it's say 42 months or 3.5 years. We have entered into that 3.5 years. Dawn say RFK Jr. hanging with that Satan that my girl Candace chewed up and spit out. Yeah, Shmuley, Rabbi Shmuley, Rabbi. So yeah, those are the human parasites, what we call 10% bloodsuckers of the poor, parasite leeches, vampires. Those are what we here to detox the planet from. But these little worms that we're carrying that infest us, we all carrying an infestation. And I'm saying all, generally. Some of us, of course, might not be, but generally, I can say all, 98% of us are carrying demonic parasitic worms, parasites and worms that perform the same function as a Rabbi Shmuley or as Satan. There's no benefit to the host. It's only a benefit to the parasite. But the parasite its goal is to keep the host alive, keep the host healthy and fat enough, and set the host appetite to where that they gonna go run out and get the food and bring it back to the parasite. So it's not like slaughter, it's not like slaughter. Persecution or slavery or bondage is worse than slaughter. The nature of a parasite is to keep you alive and work you your whole life and bring all the spoils and benefits back to the parasite. And you as the host go back out there and, and get everything that we tell you to go get for us. It's only a one-way street, one-way benefit relationship. So this is going on with all of us right now in our gut, in our spinal cord, in our muscle tissue, in our brains. We all have worms and parasites. All of us. All of us. So this is how we exercise our internal demons, because they affect your mood. They affect your attitude. They affect, your conscience and consciousness, because they're influencing us to be more susceptible. They have us real irritable, real moody, real upset. So they don't inspire you to be cheerful. Parasites don't inspire you to be cheerful unless you get cheer and you get comfort out of alcohol, sugar, vices. Like if those things make you feel good, you definitely got parasites, because that's what parasites crave. They crave sugar, they crave alcohol, they crave toxins and bad food, they crave overeating, they crave you giving in to lower indulgence, appetites and lusts and all that kind of stuff. Drama, mess, stress, anything that's going to have you stressed out. That's the perfect, beautiful, heavenly environment for demonic parasites. So our job is to go to a holy war, Armageddon, in our own body. Detox, change your diet, stop eating sweet, stop eating all of the stuff that turn into sugar, the pastas, the breads, the sugary foods, the desserts, the cookies, the pies, the ice creams, all of that. Now, I'm saying you got to do it forever, but I would say do a strong cleanse for 3 months, 3 or 4 months. Really cleanse, take the heavy metals out first, because these parasites, create a biofilm based on the metals that's in our body, the lead, the mercury, the aluminum. So many of us eat off of aluminum and eat and drink aluminum cans and all of that. You got to detox. You got to be getting rid of the metals and, the aluminums and them leads and mercuries and all of that. Because if you try to do a worm cleanse or parasite cleanse without getting rid of the metals, they just going to come right back because they hide behind the metals. So, but that's the real warfare. That's the real Armageddon that each individual is supposed to be fighting. Don't worry about what the white man or the slave master or whatever is doing out there. Realize that, the certain type of foods that they promoting and making you feel like that you got to crave and you got to eat it. Fight them, resist that. But the first and foremost priority war is with your own diet, with these demonic, parasitic worms and whatnot, bacteria and microbes and pathogens that's already in our body from when we was little. It's not your fault. They've been in our body since we was little, since we was babies. Some of us got tapeworms taller than our front door. For real. You know what I'm saying? It's not your fault, but you won't know until you start getting rid of them. And you see all that little spaghetti angel hair pasta looking stuff in your boo-boo, in your stool. Yeah. You're like, I ain't had no pasta. Nigga, that's not pasta. That's not pasta, bro. That's not little angel hair pasta. Them demon hair pastas. That's demon hair pastas. Yeah. Stop using white antiperspirant sticks with aluminum, all the aluminum in your deodorant. Toothpaste with fluoride and aluminum and all kind of stuff, all the stuff that, So we just got to take charge and take precautions. Don't trust nothing treat the white man products like you treat black people. You know what I'm saying? How y'all don't trust the nation? How y'all don't trust Farrakhan and the Muslims? Y'all should trust trust all of my other products like that. Box out. What about water and aluminum cans? Yeah, anything in aluminum is bad.
Water in an aluminum can I've never heard of that. Is that?
Yeah, they got water in aluminum cans. Wow. Yeah. But anything in aluminum is bad. Nothing in aluminum should be going in your body. Nothing in aluminum, especially cooking with aluminum foil or cooking with aluminum pots and pans. All of that is dumping aluminum into your bloodstream, into your spine, into your brain. And that is the environment for parasites. And those parasites excrete pathogens. They excrete viruses. So that's the cause of candida, overgrowth, bacterial infections, bacteria of all kinds, bacterial infections, meaning bacterial overgrowth. If you always have bacterial infections or, downstairs, females had vajayjay infections all the time, yeast infections, that's what that comes from. We got to get rid of the metals, chelation, detox, this other stuff that they call zeolite, it's EDTA, it's all kind of stuff that you can use to cleanse yourself. Might take a week, a week or two or something like that. to do a heavy metal cleanse, and then while you're doing that, or right after you do that, then go after the parasites. Go after the parasites, the adult parasites, and then, you know, go after the little larva. So it's different protocols, herbs, everything from cloves, clove water, you know, like the little clove that you put in your mouth that you cook with, little dry cloves, boil them, boil a little handful of teaspoon in them, drink that every day, you know, clove water, boil it, and then just strain it, you know, pour the water in a little cup or something. That eliminates the larva. That penetrates into the larva. But then this is what I be eating every day nowadays. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds is hell on the adult ones, the adult parasites, the adult worms. Damn, there you go. You see it say organic pumpkin seeds. These got a little sea salt on them, but it's different things. You know what I'm saying? If y'all into wormwood or like black walnut hull, black seed oil, it's a lot of stuff, but this is what I'm on. I'm fighting my anti-demon, little serpent worm. Damn. Armageddon war right now as we speak. Yeah, non-stick pans is terrible, like Rube say. All of that is terrible. Vegetable in the can too. Yeah, you know, we ain't really supposed to be eating nothing out of a can, but we know we pour, so most of the time. But I don't know how much aluminum. I don't know if the vegetable cans is straight aluminum like that. I'm not sure. But box out, thought I was doing good, not drinking plastic bottles. Yeah, you got to take your your pick, microplastics or heavy metals. I would go with the, you know, plastic bottles before the metal, because the metal do you way worse than the plastic. All of them do you bad, but the plastics, you know, I've been reading about certain foods and certain vegetation and herbs that pulls the plastics out too. I don't know how true it is. I was reading something about kefir or yogurt, certain type of Greek organic probiotic yogurts and stuff like that. I could be wrong, that help pull out the microplastics. But yeah, it's supposed to be all glass or porcelain. Like back in the day, we didn't ever drink out of no plastic. We didn't ever cook in plastic or nothing like. It was always cast iron, stainless steel, glass, or porcelain. That's the best, and that's why it costs a grip now. A real stainless steel pot might be $100 and some just for one little pot, and they know that on purpose. They doing that on purpose because they know that that's going to keep you and your family from getting all of that. But we love to eat out. We love to go to restaurants and all of that. That's, you know, especially if people that don't got no spouse, that don't cook. They just eat somewhere else. They eat in restaurants. Oh no, that's all they cooking with. They using aluminum. They using tap water. They using foil. They using plastic. They using all the stuff you don't want them to use. Dawn Samuels, that's why everyone around me crashing out. It's like Walking Dead around here. Yeah, I definitely got to protect my vessel and encourage others to do the same. Yeah, that's how you possessed by the beast, possessed by demons. These parasites are the demons. They are the literal little demons, legions. They're called legions, thousands, legions of demons that control your mood, control your appetite, control your consciousness. Demons. Those combined with the other demons of trauma, you know, physical trauma, combined with these parasites. Oh yeah, you totally robbed inside and out by Satan. Yeah, black seed oil. That's one of the greatest holy waters that you can get. Black seed oil gets it done. Black seed oil and oregano, carver oil, black seed oil. Papaya seeds is good for the adult parasites, but they don't really, well, I ain't gonna say that you don't, but papaya seeds is good for that, for helping eradicate worms and parasites. Yeah, absolutely don't use the microwave. We use microwave as a cabinet in our house.
Yeah.
So I don't think we ever use the microwave for nothing. We use a microwave just as an extra cabinet, like to put food in if the food is hot, like, and I'm going and I'm gonna put your food in the microwave, not to use the microwave, it's just a closed space. Yeah, never use the microwave, never eat no microwave food ever. And the cold part is we be putting plastic in the microwave. That's even worse. So we got to take charge of our health. I see my little managers here. Would you like to say anything?
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so we do a new upload or a new live, we'll always get notified.
Always get notified.
I got the script now. That's cute.
Yeah, that's cute, ain't it? DJ X1, took me a long time to start eating beets, but beets are good for you also. Yeah, beets is good for your heart. Beets are good for high blood pressure, people that's dealing with blood pressure, but and that's good because I be on beets also. Beet juice. You know, as a child, you know, your palate is different. You know, that was my absolute worst food. I didn't want nothing to do with beets when I was little. Like that was the grossest food you could ever put on your tongue. But as I became an adult, and then I started learning how to eat to live, eat for health instead of eating for taste. Now, it don't mean that, you know, whatever you eat ain't supposed to taste good. But once I started feeling the benefits of what certain foods did, I didn't care about how they taste. I outgrew. I became mature enough to eat what's good for me instead of what tastes good, because that's what the devils do. They try to do that with your children. Here, little girl, you want some candy? Ain't that what they use for them little vans with no window? Right, that's cold blooded. But the big external human serpent is gonna use the same type of food that it know that it likes to lure your little babies. Here, little boy, you want some candy? You want some sugar? You want some sugar? I know you got parasites, and I know them parasites is gonna activate your little feel good hormones when I say candy. Yeah, I want some candy, and nigga grab you. Dad. So, but sugar is the enemy. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no sugar. If it don't naturally come in the food that you got, or in the form of honey or maple syrup or something like that, something, you know, that's naturally sweet. But white sugar, you know, even brown sugar, you know, might be all right if you're getting it straight from the sugar cane, you know. Because Rube, no, my brother, no. We used to have sugar cane in the backyard. We had down there everything. Down there, every fruit in the Bible we had in our backyard in Compton. So we had sugar cane. We used to cut it. Our grandma cut it and chewing on it and sucking out the sugar water and all of that. So we know what real food and real sugar and all that stuff is supposed to taste like. We had pomegranates. We had our figs. Everything down there was in the Bible. We had it. We had it in our backyard. But the diet change is absolutely what we got to do. Right. At the Hood Garden of Eden and the snakes and the serpents. You know what I'm saying? The straight serpents. But yeah, we don't even know where food come from. We think food come from the grocery store. We don't even know food comes from nature. Food comes from the ground. And we leave that up to the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Jorge and Pedro and them. Like, we think food come from the Mexicans or the grocery store. Like, no, food comes from the same ground that you own right now, that you could be in your backyard growing just like they doing. But we got lazy. We became too boss chick, or we too, you know, baller. We too baller. No, I don't get dirty. I don't get my hands dirty. Oh, you dirty. Go put some of that, you know, stool up under a microscope. You see how dirty you are. Okay, how much of a baller you are. You got a ball of parasites in your gut or in your brain. Right. Only God can make food. and cures. The cures are in nature. Are they cloning seeds now? Yeah, they've been cloning seeds. They've been cloning people. They just ain't been telling us.
Oh, Sarah Lee? No
Yeah, right.
way.
Sarah Lee ain't God, nor is Bruce Lee. Right. So, but that's what we rely on. We don't know how to make nothing from scratch. We don't garden. We don't farm. We scared to deal with animals.
We scared to deal with bugs.
Right. Well, at least we ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we used to grow up, fishing. So I love, like, if I could find a worm or a cricket or a spider or something, that's all we did. Like, catch spiders, catch bugs, catch beetles, insects, everything. Ants. It was fascinating to us. Now, like, we act like that don't even exist. Monsanto, Syngenta, DuPont. Yeah, right. That's our guys. Dawn said, I'm a chef, and it's best to try to make your own meals from scratch if you can. You can. That's not the issue, Dawn. It's not that we can't. We won't. We choose not to. We're not willing to. That's why Islam means submit your will to do the will of a person that's superior, a human being, not to the will of a ghost. Submit our will to do the will of a man that's superior to us, and we don't like that idea. Now, I'm not doing nothing when no man tell me to do. Oh, okay. So we're not willing to do what somebody more wise and more successful and more healthier than us, tells us to do, because, we want to do things our way. I got my own free will. My daddy don't tell me, like, all right. So we don't make our own meals because we choose not to. So that's unfortunately our problem. We choose not to. We use our free will to be free from law, to be free from discipline, to be free from righteousness. And that's why we're in a health condition that we in. Rube say lazy and spoiled. Dawn said, read your labels on the food you buy. That's absolutely true. Any labels, any ingredients that look like they come out the chemistry book, monosodium diglyceride, whatever, you know what I'm saying, then you don't really want that. If it don't got regular natural ingredients that it's a small amount of ingredients that you know exactly what they are, then you shouldn't eat it. You should not eat it. And they still lie. Mm-hmm. They still gonna lie. They still lie. So they might say that it's organic and it's not, they still lie. So you got to factor that in also. So do your due diligence, pick the best labels that you can, but keep in mind, even them labels.
Pick the best label that you want.
You know what I'm saying? That you likely going to get a Mickey. They're going to slip you some Mickeys. So just be aware of that. Yeah, this is a cold one right here. Have y'all been seeing this lately? Contains bioengineered ingredients. Contains bioengineered ingredients. I just seen that on some saltine crackers. Saltine crackers used to be my go-to, like if I'm eating soup or if I'm like got a stomach ache or whatever. I didn't really realize my stomach issues, like I had a loose bowels or something that's going, stiffen up my stools or whatever. Saltine crackers, little crackers with, before they start making Now, if you look at the back of saltine crackers, it say made with bioengineered ingredients. Like, what the hell is bioengineered? Bioengineered. And they act like, well, we told y'all, because now, like you gotta put it on the label. How many people is gonna be reading the labels like for bioengineered? Like that seemed like something cool. I'm a bioengineer. Like that seemed like, okay, that's some agriculture though. So they just making some new. No, that's not cool.
Agriculture.
Right.
I think I might turn to Spider-Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hero.
Chilltown Majors, those food dyes ingredients too. Yeah, anything that you see yellow number such and such or red number such and such, or yeah, that's all bad. All bad. But why do we think we need it? It's because of the parasites. It's because of those demons that we carrying in our gut, in our brain, in our spinal cord, our nervous system, that's telling us no matter what, we need that. We need that. That's what I need. I'm craving that. Man, I got to have that. I got to have that. That's not you. That's not your real brain. That's not your real thoughts. That's symbiotic relationship. That is the thoughts and the cravings and the desires of a leech or a legion of leeches that's attached to your nervous system that's calling for that. And it's sending them signals up to your brain and making you think that's what you want. You know, the gods got that same power. The angels on the big universal wheel, you know, it's angels that know how to, you know, tune or project thoughts. They don't have to be attached to you physically, but they know how to send thoughts into your mind and my mind and make us think we thought them. Made us think that was our idea. It's really their idea that they're influencing you with. But these, you know, the devils have them same little or similar abilities, but they have to be connected to you. You have to allow them into your house like a vampire. They can't do nothing to you if you don't let them in. If you let them in, then they got you. They're going to do what they do. They're going to suck the blood. They're going to be the blood sucker of the poor, the vampire bats of your life. So once you realize you got vampires, how do you get rid of them? Use ionic. No. But detox, you know what I'm saying? Find out what gets rid of the little vampire parasites, the little serpents, the little demonic serpents that was in the garden, the legions of serpents, legion of demons. Find out what gets rid of them. Do your due diligence in studying what we've been talking about, parasite cleanses, and the proper order, because parasites, you got to get rid of the meadows first. You got to start passing the meadows, getting the meadows, you know, out your system, and microscopic meadows, because they're in your fluids, they're in your brain, your bones, or what. I mean, you know, so you got to start passing those things, and you pass those by, you know, taking certain minerals or whatever that attract the metals. They bond to the metals, like zeolite, you know, stuff like that, EDTA, whatever. And, you know, they pass that out your system. Then once you pass that out your system, now the parasites is susceptible. Now the parasites and the worms are susceptible because they can't hide behind the metal, the heavy metals, or the neurotoxin metal environment. So they biofilms and all that is exposed, and now you can hit them directly with the black seed oil or the wormwood, or, you know, whatever it is that you use, and the papaya seeds or the pumpkin seeds or the cloves, whatever your weapons of choice are. We got a big arsenal over here. You know what I'm saying? So we hitting them with everything. When it's time for war, we shooting everything. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got to look at it as war. You know, if you think you about to go through a militia war, a race war, you ain't just gonna buy one little pistol and just, you know, one little box of ammo. You're gonna buy as much stuff as you can. So imagine the war that's going on already with the real enemy, the real militia that already took over your system, causing you sickness. What kind of ammunition you supposed to have stocked up for them? You're supposed to have everything you can get your hands on. Supposed to buy every gun that you can get your hands on to get rid of them parasites, and not just buy them, shoot them. This is supposed to be your shooting range. You're supposed to be at the range every day. Pop, pop, I got fullies, I got, you know, slugs, I got buckshots, I got ARs, I got sticks, I got extended, you know, I'm suppressors, I got everything. I'm shooting everything.
I got beats.
Yep. So that's where we at. Ahmad Jabril, same food items you buy in America does have 10 more ingredients than the ones you buy anywhere else in the world. Yeah, because they know this is where the people of God is at, and they know that they cursed and doomed for doing what they did to us for the last 400 years. And when they see the writing on the wall that they're now being taken out and their reproductive birth rate is at 0, they being cursed and made barren by the God, then they intend to do the same thing to us. So that's why you don't see that happening overseas like you see it happening here. This is the number one Satan that put God's people through what they put us through in the worst, condition in history. So they're going to make sure that we got the worst of everything because it's directed at us. They want to take us out with them. Rube say Granny made everything from scratch with everything she needed in that big drawer. Yeah. And we used to watch her. And, we used to be complaining because we got a real, like Eddie Murphy says, she be making real burgers with real ground meat. My grandfather used to actually get the meat and had a ground meat grinder and grinded the meat himself. And then she'd take the burgers and make the big ass, you know what I'm saying? Like Eddie Murphy said, a onion burger and shit with bread. No, I want a Big Mac. I want a McDonald's burger. Like, yeah. Didn't know that we was eating the healthiest, even though we got Fauci juiced up. You know what I'm saying? We got stuck up with them in elementary school and other places. But I guess that's what kept us alive. That's what balanced enough of it out, because my grandmother made everything from scratch. When Martin talking about my mama biscuits, like that's nothing. We know exactly what he's talking about. Our grandmother's rolls, like on Thanksgiving, and biscuits, just two different things. The biscuits was a different thing it's like, you put honey and butter on, but the rolls is like dinner rolls, like, man. Yeah, it was, man. What up, Lance? Peace. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here. We've been on here 2.5 hours. I've been on here too.
Them demons you show look horrifying.
Yeah, that's real. And it's real. Literally demons do exactly what the Bible and your horror movies and all that say demons do. What zombies do: eat your brains, eat your spinal cord, eat your body. If you don't think we at war, then you already a casualty. Absolutely. You're already a host. Already been assimilated. You know what I'm saying? They already done set up shop. Legions are already within you. Always good to invest 100 pounds of Navy beans. That's right. If y'all got dry Navy beans, a big bag, a bulk bag, anywhere, or y'all find them online, organic Navy beans, it's always good to invest in the biggest bag of Navy beans along with water. And, we do have to store water in big plastic containers. So, as I'm saying, that's better than metal. It's better than metal. So you got to do what you got to do. Just like dude was trying to argue with me saying the reason why y'all in a bad condition because y'all got a lot say it's okay to eat pork if you starving. If you starving and you got to save your life, you can eat pork. And he said that's why we in the condition we in. That's such an idiotic statement. Because what about all of us that was like, I would like to ask them, like, what is it about pork that's supposed to be a sin? If you're an Israelite, if you're a black Israelite, what's a sin? How are we sinning against God by eating pork? How is that hurting God? Right? And if we grew up on pork, are we already lost? Are we a lost cause? We just doomed to eternal damnation because we grew up eating pork. So what's the sin about us eating pork? Because Elijah Muhammad lets us know. We know it's worms and all of that, but he said it take about 7 years to get the worms all the way out your system for pork. The pork trichinae worms. These other worms is something else. These is fluke worms and pin worms and tapeworms. It don't take that. But them trichinae, them pork worms, he said it takes up to 7 years to get them out your system. So if you ain't been studying, if you ain't been practicing Hebrew Israelitism longer than 7 years, you got them in your system. So is that the reason why y'all ain't, successful as the nation is? Because you got residual pork worms still in your systems. You ain't reached your 7 year mark yet. But the logic be just so goofy, man. But I be wanting them to show up and so we can mock it and have fun with it or whatever. But man, DJ X1, you make me hungry talking about all this good food. You should be hungry for health. That's probably, I don't know, that might be them parasites. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm just kidding. Watermelon is my favorite, but look like pink lemonade inside with no seeds. Yeah, watermelons ain't even real no more. If you can't find no organic watermelon with black seeds, that's not even really watermelon. And they knew that. They just found that out recently within the last few years that watermelon was a superfood, and they didn't realize that's what's keeping these black slaves healthy for all these centuries when y'all was trying to make us look like big bug-eyed buffoons and Sambos or whatever with the watermelon, chicken and watermelon. That watermelon was a superfood. Now, once y'all discovered that, get rid of the watermelon. All the stuff they discovered that been superfoods that kept the black man and black woman strong and healthy throughout all the wiles of Satan, all they poisons and all they tortures and torments and terrorism. Now they trying to get rid of, getting rid of all of that because it's Custer's last stand. This is the demon's last stand, Satan's dragon's last stand. So they got to try to even the battlefield, even the playing field by getting rid of all of the natural God foods, fruits, vegetables, and herbs that they learned, are healing and curing food for us. They got to have us all the way susceptible for their final little weapons, the chemtrails and the poison this and the Fauci that and the, germs and the epidemics or whatever that's coming from, Wuhan laboratory, gain of function research, whatever they got going on. So y'all got to be aware of that. And the best, when it comes to that, and they start eliminating everything, and you're going to have to adopt how to eat to live, the Nation of Islam dietary law, which is fasting. Like it or not, you're going to have to master fasting because the best defense, the best shield, the best armor is not to eat it, period. How many days can you go and I go without eating it, period? Eating nothing, period. Just water. How many days can we go with just eating nothing, period, with just drinking water? That's what it's going to come down to. That's the ultimate nuclear bomb for the parasites. I'm just going to let y'all know straight out. The nuclear bomb for the parasites is fasting, not giving them nothing, starving them out. But most of us can't take the reaction to that because what the parasites is going to cause to happen to your nervous system is going to say, hey, man, I'm panicking, or I got a headache, or I feel nauseous, feel like I'm a faint, I feel like I'm lightheaded, because you're going to really find out how connected these worms are, these legions of parasitic worms are to your nervous system once you fast. Once you fast, you're going to be like, oh, I'm finna die. I mean, that's how I feel because that's what they feel. You taking on their thoughts. They know they finna die, so you feel like you finna die. Ain't that something? It's like E.T. It's a symbiotic relationship. You feel what they feel. You want what they want. And once they see that you hip to them and you coming after them and you going to war and starving them out, you going to feel like you dying. Or you going to think you dying because that's what they feel like. Beans, small white navy beans are known to reverse cardiovascular disease. Box out how you reheat food. I don't really reheat food. Yeah, I don't really reheat food. Not much. Maybe what if it's chili or something or beans or something like that. Me personally, I don't really reheat food. Me and my son is kind of funny like that. We eat cold food. Like if it started out hot and put it in the refrigerator, I'm just gonna eat it out the refrigerator. I don't really reheat. Me personally, I don't really reheat food. I'm just gonna make sure I eat all of it when it's hot, You know what I'm saying? If I got to go back for seconds, my meal gonna be a real meal. I don't really like leftovers. I don't really like leaving leftovers. Righteous by nature. What y'all know about? Who know about that chow chow relish? I don't know about chow chow. You know, chow chow relish is, what is chow chow relish? I know chow chow is a dog, but what is chow chow relish? Divine Judger, what up, bro? Cam and Nas, salute. Samsung, son, salute. Leave it alone. I used to work in a condiment producing plant. Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Chow chow relish. Leave it alone. Just leave me alone. I used to work in a condiment producing plant. Oh man, I don't even want to hear that. FYI, Sugar Smack Farms has freeze-dried navy bean soup for storage, and those who travel a lot. Sugar Shack. I'm like, Sugar Smack. Ain't that a cereal? Sugar Shack Farms has freeze-dried navy bean soup. Who is Sugar Shack Farms? Is that Muslims? I'm guessing it is, because I don't know nobody else that even makes or promotes navy bean soup. So Sugar Shack Farms, can you put a link up, Sarah one? Can you put a link in the chat so we can just click on it and find out more about that? Sugar Shack Farms and navy bean soup for storage. Sinister Music 2025 is the end. The end of what? What is the 2025 the end of? Because it's definitely not the end. It's the end of grace, the end of God's grace, particular grace, but it's not the end of the world. And then canola oil is not fit for human consumption. It's a machine lubricant. Yeah, most of them oils ain't good for nothing. We cook with olive oil. Sometimes we cook with corn oil. We're trying to stop that. But olive oil is what we mostly cook with. And avocado oil a little bit. Still learning about that. But yeah, mostly butter. If it can't be cooked with butter or olive oil, then we don't really do it. You know, might do some chicken. You know, we just know fried food ain't really good, but corn oil and fried chicken. My grandmother used to make fried chicken. I couldn't stand fried chicken. I still don't like fried chicken. Everybody love. I couldn't stand fried chicken. Just something about it. A breatharian who claims to be a breatharian. He don't eat food for 19 years, only water. Yeah, I don't believe that. And it's used to lubricate the machines that shred the cabbage. Wow. Canola oil is used to lubricate the machines that shred the cabbage. Damn. Yeah, come over here for the fun facts. I don't know how fun they are, but y'all can fact check that. Salute. So what time is it? Anything you want to promote, Young Nas the Great?
Yes, if you can get the book How to Eat to Live, parts 1 and 2. Read it on your own time.
Right. Neo said, if you can, ain't no if. If it was a fifth, we ought to be drunk. So this is about imposing. You should get How to Eat to Live, the book by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2, or book 1 or 2, either one or both. How to Eat to Live, book 1 and book 2. That's the first book of the nation I ever read. I didn't read Autobiography of Malcolm X. I didn't read Message to the Black Man. I didn't read Our Savior Has Arrived, Fall of America, none of that. First book I ever read by the nation was How to Eat to Live, because I wasn't really interested in the religious stuff. I just was interested in the practical application stuff that I knew that would affect me right now. I wanted to look good because I seen the brothers look good. No Disney, not like that, but they look good. They look, real defined and chiseled. They like real serious. They look like little superheroes or something. I'm talking about they literal faces and a definition in their faces and all of that. I was like, man, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Look like real soldiers, you know what I'm saying? Real superhero characters. So I read that book, but it just so happened the cover said by God in person, Master Fard Muhammad or something like that. I know it said by God in person. So I was like, I don't know, but let me just see what it's talking about. And I got really more into the God part through that book than I got into the food part. Because I was one like, okay, well, who said that we supposed to eat this? And they said what? And they said this person said this is why Methuselah and Noah and all them people lived to be 900 or 600, you know, living into the hundreds because they was eating this kind of food and they was only eating once every 3 or 4 days or one meal a week or something like that. They was gods of fasting. So the less you eat, the longer you live. And I was like, okay, well, what did they do for fun and shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is pleasure for them? Was well, if they was having generations and generations, I guess, yeah, right. Yeah, I guess I knew it if the generations of Noah or whoever was, you know, he was repopulating the earth. I see what he was replacing the meals with, what activities he was having pleasure with if it wasn't food. So I got it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what led me to get more and more into NOI teachings, is because it was something that I saw that I could see with my own eyes the benefits from. Yeah. So I always wanted clear skin. I always wanted, you know, certain definition in my muscles and to be cut up like Bruce Lee and all that kind of stuff. And I seen the brothers was looking like that. I'm like, man, what y'all wearing? Makeup or something? Y'all think it's vampires? Like, why y'all look like that? Oh, brothers, Elijah Muhammad, man. Elijah Muhammad died. How do you eat to live, brother? You know what I'm saying, brother? It was brother in me too much. Like, I ain't really too much want to hear that. Like, I was like, nigga, just tell me what y'all niggas is eating. You know what I'm saying? And like, here, this book right here, man. Like, so that's how it was. I started out, man, really clowning the Muslims. I really was clowning the bean and the pie thing. Like, so y'all got like this, y'all look like this from a bean and a pie. Like, how in hell do that ever go together? How would y'all put beans and pie and sugar in a pie together? Like, what make y'all think to put beans and sugar in some pie crust and shit and try to bake it? Like, hey, that sounds horrible. That sounds terrible. But I realized once I tasted it, like, what is this? It's sweet potato? No, nigga, that's the bean pie you was clowning. I'm like, oh, shit. So it had to make a believer out of me, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's been the story of my life, though, you know, ever since. Our people is going to do just like I was doing. Hard head, stiff neck, rebellious, mocking, looking for an excuse to clown. And that's what I was doing. So, all right, Sister Dawn, God, sis, good to see you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for adding to the energy. So that means it's time for us to go too. Like, subscribe, share, hit the little like button, man. If y'all just came, hit the like button. And God put it on your heart. Hit the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? We take those too. We ain't collection plate. We don't require it, but we thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for paying attention. You don't have to pay to get no information, but thank you for paying attention. Ruben said, how you gonna make a pie that tastes like a burrito? Right. Exactly. What kind of bean? Like, I know what beans taste like. And they're like, no, brother, not that kind of bean. This is a small white bean. Like, and I never had navy beans before that. Like, I didn't know it was even a difference in beans. Like, if I'm saying beans, it means burrito beans. It means pinto beans or lima beans or some other kind of beans that, you know, slave food. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know nothing about the small white bean. Once I got hip to that, I was like, oh, it's on. And do y'all know the small white bean is the same bean that they use with bush beans? I'm like the little what's them kind of beans? The little sweet, you know, the bush vegetarian beans. What is them called?
Bush baked beans.
The baked beans, yeah, the baked beans. Baked beans is made with small white beans, the navy beans, them little white ones, right? And so that's why I like them so much. Like, I like, what kind of beans is these? Yeah, the bush baked beans, the little baked beans. And they made with like brown sugar and whatever spices, garlic or brown sugar or something like that. Lentils, that's like Jewish thing. I never was into lentils. I ain't really learned about lentils until just recently. And lentils is like little group of different kind of beans, lentil beans, and they cool, but they ain't fading the small white beans. Yeah, them baked beans. Remember the candy when you was little in Boston baked beans? Them was fire, wasn't they? Y'all remember them in a little box? Like you had the lemon heads, you had the.
Y'all had the little.
Yeah. They was pure poison. They was like all the rest of that sugary candy stuff, but them baked beans, boy, them used to be fire. Rube said the small white beans are resistant to genetic tampering. Beautiful, beautiful. We need to hear that. I'm gonna leave that up there for a while. Everybody that's worried about GMO, bioengineer, apparently they're resistant to genetic tampering, according to our brother researcher, student minister Reuben Muhammad over there in dang, I forgot the city. You know, I'll be wanting to say Winston-Salem. What's the city? What's the city that you over there, the student minister of in North Carolina? What's the city? But he says that small white beans are navy bean Greensboro. Thank you. Greensboro. Anybody that's in the Greensboro area, pull up on my brother. This is my biological brother, same mother, same father, Reuben Muhammad, the student minister over there in the Greensboro Mosque, Greensboro, North Carolina. You know, he the one that brought me in the nation, you know, with prodding, and you know, after some years, you know what I'm saying, finally he was able to get me to tap out or tap in. So brother Reuben Muhammad, you know, if he was able to fish me in, he's definitely able to fish you in, you know what I'm saying, and make it worth your while. Muhammad Maz 92, Greensboro, North Carolina. So, you know, look at me, Betty. You ever seen Hollywood Shuffle? Sarai 1, the navy bean worked for the Hebrew boys in the Bible. Pulse and water. Pulse, is that what they call it? Like mashed up beans? Yeah. But yeah, them bush beans is fire. You know what I'm saying? About to knock some of them down in a few seconds when I get off of here. I don't know about the sugar that's added. You know, they got to put their environment, you know what I'm saying? They got to put their environment in it. They got to feed the worms, the parasites. So be careful, all that sugary stuff. Anything with sugar in it, you don't want to really deal with it while you trying to detox them worms, because that's just feeding the worms. Salute. Oh yeah, all love. Hermano. Ahmad Jabril say, bro, Reuben, you probably know my brother Michael Muhammad, light-skinned brother, green eyes. Light skin, green eye, green color eye, brother, cat. Yeah. So yeah, man, righteous by nature. That's right. So yeah, man, small white beans, learn them, love them, cook them, use them. Garlic, you know what I'm saying? Eat as much garlic and onions as you can possibly eat. That's a super detoxer. Garlic is one of the greatest superfoods to kill bacteria and viruses and pathogens. Make it a regular part of your diet. Garlic and onions raw, meaning, you know, don't necessarily cook. If you cook them, you get a little benefit, but raw, while they still fiery, when they got that allicin, the little juice, the little milk, the little garlic milk, while it's fire, because if you leave it in the air too long, then it's going to evaporate and get hard and sticky. But what, you know, if you chop up some garlic right there, you know what I'm saying, and while it's still wet and a little garlic juice, you want to hit that. It's going to burn your stomach up, burn your whole torso up. It might make you vomit. If it make you vomit, then, you know, if it makes your stomach foam up and bubble up, you definitely got parasites. Y'all should try this. If y'all got any raw garlic cloves. Take 1 garlic clove or 2, if whatever you can handle. Chop it up first. You know what I'm saying? Get you some juice or whatever, water, whatever you can take, and hit it. If it makes your stomach nauseous, and you start feeling the foam and the bubble, and you start feeling them glands right there up under your ears, and you start having to spit out like little foam because you got parasites. You got parasites.
Welcome to death row.
Welcome to death row. You got parasites, and keep that up because that's what you need to get rid of them. They hate garlic. Garlic is a divine herb. But run that test. Run that little garlic test.
So what about that garlic breath?
Oh no, that's John. That's that's one of our beloved ops here. That's my bro. Who cares about your breath? Especially if you ain't got no woman. You know what I'm saying? I care about getting rid of the adversary in my body. Who cares about breath? But I guess that's showing me that we need to go on and tap out.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
Salute y'all. Great live.
Right.
Having me.
Man, we want to see more of you, young Jedi. Yeah. So anybody, Jam 7. Yep, throw some raw garlic and onions on a salad or any food. It could be any food. It could be some hot food. It could be chili. It could be something that you can just mask it in. But raw organic garlic. With every hot meal. Anything you can put raw garlic on, put raw garlic on. Anything you can put cayenne pepper on, put cayenne pepper on. Raw garlic and cayenne pepper. Whatever you can, whatever food allows you to do that, put it on every single meal. Garlic, raw garlic, and cayenne pepper.
Peace, OG. Peace on through.
All right. So we outro, man. Like, subscribe, share. Send this to somebody that you love or somebody you don't. And God willing, we'll be back at it tomorrow. This so-called Holy Week. Hit the Cash App and thank y'all for the Cash App, super chats, and all that. Till tomorrow, Kam-Pain Show live. Young Nas, Brother Cam, and we outro. Peace.